And welcome back, everyone. Welcome to the second match in the first round of the Antigua Barbuda Social Security Junior Science Quiz Competition. For those of you at home who are joining us for the first time, welcome. And for those of you who are coming back from last week's exciting match where we saw 3 schools compete, the Seventh-day Adventist School versus the St. Joseph's Academy and the Jennings Secondary School. And from the results of last week's competition, we know that the St. Joseph's Academy and the Seventh-day Adventist Secondary have advanced to the next round of competition. Well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a brand new match for you with 3 new schools who will be competing to earn 2 spots in next round's competition. So let's meet our teams. For the Antigua Girls High School, we have Miss Janae Chambers.
Good evening.
We have Miss Anaya Willock.
Good evening.
And we have Miss Ajane Marshall.
Good evening.
And please feel free to give them a round of applause. Welcome them, welcome them. And for the Antigua Grammar School, we have Mr. Alexander Simon.
Good evening.
We have Mr. Odari Hodge.
Good evening.
And we have Mr. Jaden Baptiste.
Good evening.
Give them a round of applause, please. And finally with us, we have the Pierce Secondary School, and we have Keon Brown with us.
Good evening.
We have Miss Angel Ogaro.
Good evening.
And we have Mr. Leon Riggleby.
Good evening.
And I forgot to tell you who the team captains were, forgive me, but for the Antigua Girls High School, the team captain is Miss Janae Chambers, and for the Antigua Grammar School, it is Mr. Alexander Simon, and for the Pierce Secondary, it is Mr. Keon Brown. You know the team captains because they always sit in the center of the team. Well, we are about to start the first round of competition, but there are a few more people I need to recognize before we can start the competition. I can't do this job without the help of my judges, and I want to recognize them. From the Ministry of Education, and she is our neutral judge this evening, Miss Kendra Thomas. We also have, you can give her a round of applause, yes please, thank you. Judges work very hard, give them a round of applause. We also have Mrs. Janelle Parker from the Pierce Secondary School. And from the Antigua Girls High School, we have Miss Asha Andrew. And we have Mr. Elton Isaac from the Antigua Grammar School. I see the boys are very lively from the Antigua Grammar School tonight. And of course, our timekeeper, as always, is the wonderful Miss Aisha Lynch. Please give her a round of applause. And with that said, we have now completed our introductions, and we are ready for the first round of competition. Teams, are you ready? All right, so this is our individual buzzer round. And in this round, we will have sets of 3. So you will face off against an opposing team member from another team. And the first person to buzz in with the correct answer will earn their team 5 points. But if you get the answer incorrect, it goes over to the other teams to buzz in for the correct answer. And if you interrupt me before I finish reading the question, I will not finish reading the question, and you will have to answer the question. If you get it wrong, it will go over to the other teams to buzz in for the correct answer. If nobody gets it right, we will just ask the audience for the correct answer. Everybody clear on the rules? We're ready. Okay, we're going to start with the individuals at my most extreme, right? And then we're going to go down the line, okay? So we're going to have Miss Anaya Willock versus Mr. Jaden Baptiste versus, I believe it is Mr. Leon Riggleby. Teams, are you ready? Please put the mic in front of you so we can begin. And just to let you know as well, each team or each set will get a pair of questions. So you each will get 2 questions to buzz in for the right answer. Let's begin. Here is your first question. What word is used to describe the process of creating offsprings of a... Is that the Antigua Grammar School?
Reproduction.
Reproduction is indeed correct. And here is the second question to this first set of students. In what part of the body is a converging lens?
The eye.
The eye is indeed correct from the Antigua Grammar School. Okay, we now move on to the team captains now. In the middle, we will have Miss Janae Chambers versus Mr. Alexander Simon and Mr. Keon Brown. Here is your first question. Which organ in the human body contains sweat glands? I think your grammar school.
The skin.
The skin is indeed correct. And here is the second question to this set of students. What scientific unit is used to measure area? This is Antigua Girls High School.
Meter square.
Square meter is indeed correct. Yes, that is indeed correct for Antigua Girls High School. And now we move on to our last set of students. We will have, I believe it is Miss Ajane Marshall versus Mr. Odari Hodge, I believe, and finally Miss Angel Ogaro from the Pierce Secondary. Here is your first question. Name the substance normally referred to as dry ice. The Antigua Grammar School.
Carbon dioxide. Solid carbon dioxide.
Solid carbon dioxide is indeed correct for 5 points. And finally, the last question in this first round of competition is this. Which SI prefix means divided by 100? I believe this is Antigua Girls High School.
Centi.
Centi is right for 5 points, indeed. And this, ladies and gentlemen, has brought us to the end of the first round of competition. Please stay with us, and we'll be right back with the scores after these messages from our corporate sponsors.
Life moves faster than you can imagine. Without Social Security, the poverty rate among seniors would be 4 times as high. By registering now and making your contributions, you can ensure a better life and a secure future. The Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board, growing to provide for you.
And welcome back to the second match in the first round of the 2026 Junior Science Quiz Competition. Tonight we have 3 schools actively competing for 2 spots in next round's competition. We have the Pierce Secondary, the Antigua Grammar School, and the Antigua Girls High School. We'll move on to the second round of competition, of this match. But before we do that, let's give you a rundown of the scores from the first round. So the Antigua Girls High School managed to score a total of 10 points in that round. The Antigua Grammar School scored 20 points in that round. And the Pierce Secondary School, unfortunately, did not score any points, but it is still very early in this match, and you have time to get onto the board and may even win the whole competition. Who knows? Let's see what happens. So we're going to move on very swiftly to what we call our clicker round. This is a multiple choice round. In this round, the students will see a multiple choice question on the screen. There'll be a total of 4 questions on the screen, and they'll be asked to use their clickers, that's why it's called a clicker round, to choose the correct answer from an option of 4. You will have 10 seconds in which to choose the right option. You can change your answer at any point during those 10 seconds, but after the 10 seconds is up, whatever answer you have will be final. A correct answer will earn your team a total of 5 points per person. All right? So, I'm also going to read the question to you, but you will see it on the screen. And for those of you at home, we also like to encourage you to participate as well. You too will see it on your screen, so get out a pen and paper and write down the options and see if you can beat our challengers, our students here in studios. Let's see how many right answers we can get in the competition. Are we ready? Let's begin. Here's your first question. Which of the following scientists is famous for the equation E equals mc squared? Is it Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein, Niels Bohr, or James Joule? You have 10 seconds. And that is time. Anybody wants to give me the right answer? It is? You can shout it out.
Albert Einstein.
It's Albert Einstein indeed, that is right. Famous equation equals mc squared. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is a diagram. You will see a diagram on your screen. The diagram below shows a typical flower. Which letter represents the filament? A, B, C, or D? 10 seconds. And that is indeed time. Which is the right answer? Anybody? D. D is the right answer. And I must admit, I didn't know that one, so I'm learning something myself today. So I can admit that some of these things I haven't learned in many, many years. So I'm learning as I go along too. It's not, during the science quiz, this isn't just for you, it's for everybody. But that's great, wonderful. D is the right answer, yes. Let's move on to the third question in this round. If 1 kilogram of water is taken from the earth to the moon, which of the following statements is true? The mass and the volume stay the same, A. B, the mass and the volume both decrease. C, the mass decreases but the volume stays the same. Or D, the mass stays the same but the volume decreases. Which is the right answer? You have 10 seconds. And that is your time. Anybody has the answer here? This was a tough one. I hear silence. What's the answer? A. People are saying A. Anybody disagrees? The answer is indeed A. A is indeed correct. That's the right answer there. Mass and the volume will stay the same here on Earth and at the moon. Let us move on to your final question in this round. Which of the following is not a locally invasive species? Is it lemongrass, A, the Antigua racer snake, B, Cuban frog, C, or lionfish, D? 10 seconds begins now. And that is time. Which of the following is not a locally invasive species? Anybody wants to shout the answer? Somebody says B, somebody says C, somebody says D. Locally invasive species. The key word there is invasive. And the answer is B, the Antigua racer snake, because the Antigua racer snake is not an invasive species, it is an indigenous species. Invasive means foreign, that invades the country, comes in from outside, right? So the answer there is B, racer snake. Well, that is the end of round 2. We are halfway there, and we will come back with the scores from that round right after these messages from our corporate sponsor.
Life moves faster than you can imagine. Without Social Security, the poverty rate among seniors would be 4 times as high. By registering now and making your contributions, you can ensure a better life and a secure future. The Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board, growing to provide for you.
to the second encounter in the first round of the Antigua and Barbuda Junior Science Quiz. We've just completed half the show. I have to be precise. This is science quiz after all. We've completed half the show, and we're now going to move into our third round of competition. Thank you for sticking with us. And teams, how are you feeling at halfway point? Are you feeling excited still? Yeah. Very good. Right. Well, I have the scores for you from the last round, and I'm going to give them to you, and then I'm going to go into the rules for the third round of competition. So in the last round of competition, I'm going to give you the scores, and then I'm going to give you the totals. So the Antigua Girls High School managed to score 25 points in that round. Give them a round of applause. And so they received now a total of 35 points for the 2 rounds. The Antigua Grammar School scored a total of 35 points in that round. And so they have a total of 55 points so far in the competition. And the Pears Secondary School scored a total of 15 points in that round, and that puts them on the board with 15 points for the competition. So the Antigua Grammar School are out in the lead there with about 20 points difference, but again, it's still only halfway there, so it's anybody's game. It's still for the taking. So we're going to move into our third round of competition. This is the explanation round or the free response round. Now in this round, we're going to say goodbye to 2 of our teams. But before I do that, I'm going to just give you the rules, and then we're going to say goodbye to 2 of you, because each of you are going to get the same question, and you have 10 seconds to answer that question. I'll read that question twice, and if you score it right, you get 10 points for your team. If not, it goes over to the team for 5 points. Now, the Antigua Girls High School, I'm told, are going to go first in this competition. And we know they say ladies first, so the Antigua Girls High School are going to go first. And we're going to say goodbye to the Antigua Grammar School and the Pears Secondary School. For now, until later, they'll be escorted to a silent room where they will not be able to hear the question. So, ladies, this is the free response round or the explanation round. As I said before, each of you will get 1 question. I will read that question twice. You have 10 seconds to start to answer. If you answer correctly, you will earn your team 10 points. If you answer incorrectly or out of time, it will go over to the team for 5 points. The team will also have 10 seconds in which to start to answer the question. So I believe we're going to go in this order. So the first question goes over to you, Anaya. Anaya, here is your question. According to the local curriculum, what is a hypothesis? According to the local curriculum, what is a hypothesis?
A hypothesis is an educated guess that can be proven right or wrong based on an experiment.
And I am going to look over to my judges to just get the confirmation that we're happy with that answer. The judges are telling me, indeed, we're happy with that answer. I am happy with that answer, indeed. And so you will just earn your team 10 points. Well done. Let's move on to the second question. And here is your question to team captain. How many 25-cent coins are there in $2.90? How many 25-cent coins are there in $2.90?
9 25-cent coins.
The answer, I'm afraid, is not 9 25-cent coins, so we have to turn it over to the team for 5 points.
There would be 11 25-cent coins.
11 25-cent coins is indeed correct for 5 points. Remember that 4 quarts are in $1 or 25 cents are in $1. So $2 will have 8, and then we can only get, because it's 90 cents, the most 3. And when we add all those together, we get 11. Well done, Antigua Girls High School. And here is the last question in this round, and it goes to Ajane. Ajane, here is your question. Explain the difference between the manipulated and responding variables in a science experiment. Explain the difference between the manipulated and the responding variables in a science experiment.
The manipulated variable is the variable that the experimenter deliberately changes in the experiment, and the responding variable is the variable that responds to the changes in the experiment.
I don't think I even need to go over to the judges for that one. I think that is absolutely correct for 10 points. Well done, Ajane. And that brings us to the end, well, no, this brings us to the end of the Antigua Girls High School. We'll invite the Antigua Grammar School back into the room to get their responses to these questions. Seems like the boys have adjusted their seating positions there, and that might be a strategic thing. I don't know, but let's see. So, welcome back, boys, from the Antigua Grammar School. And we are going to give you each a question. I'm going to read that question twice. You have 10 seconds to answer it. If you can't answer it within the 10 seconds or you get it incorrectly, it goes over to the team for 5 points. And the team as well has 10 seconds to answer. Sorry, 10 seconds, yes, indeed, to answer for 5 points. And so I believe we begin with Jaden. That's you? Jaden, here is your question. According to the local curriculum, what is a hypothesis? According to the local curriculum, what is a hypothesis?
A hypothesis is a question that you're going to act on, that you're going to experiment on. A question.
A question that you're going to...
A hypothetical question.
A hypothetical question, Jaden says, that you're going to experiment on. My judges are shaking their heads. The judges are saying that that's not enough. We need a little bit more. So we're going to go over to the team for 5 points.
A hypothesis is an educated guess. An hypothesis is an educated guess, a hypothetical question that you're going to experiment on.
Educated guess, a hypothetical question that you're going to experiment on. My judges are saying that's not enough, I'm afraid, and so we have to move on. So, here is question number... Oh, but let me just give you the answer before I do that. We were actually looking for a more precise... A hypothesis is a testable statement that proposes a relationship between manipulated and responding variables. So, testable statement. In science, we have to be precise with our definitions, all right? Get those keywords in, those buzzwords. All right, let's move on to the next question. And I believe this goes over to, remind me of the name again? Omari? Odari, that is right. Odari, here is your question. How many 25-cent coins are there in $2.90? How many 25-cent coins are there in $2.90?
11 25-cent coins.
11 is indeed correct for 10 points. Well done, Odari. And finally, we move on to Team Captain Alexander. Team Captain, here is your question. Explain the difference between the manipulated and responding variables in a science experiment. Explain the difference between the manipulated and responding variables in a science experiment.
The manipulated variables are the variables that you change, and the responding variables are the result of changing the variables.
I believe, judges, we can accept that. Judges says we can accept that answer indeed for 10 points. Then that is indeed correct. The manipulated or independent variable is one whose value the experimenter deliberately changes, while the responding or dependent variable is the variable whose value changes when the manipulated variable is indeed changed. And so with that, we will now invite our final team back into the room, the Pears Secondary School, and they will have an opportunity to answer questions in the school. Please bring our Pears team. Pears, welcome back. Welcome back. You had a brief break, but you're now back with us. So this is the explanation round or the free response round. In this round, each of you will have one question each that you will have to explain or provide the answer to. I shall read that question twice. and you have 10 seconds in which to answer that question. If you answer that question correctly, you earn your team 10 points. If you answer incorrectly or out of time, it will go over to the team for 5 points, and the team also has 10 seconds to guess the answer. All right, so we're going to start with, I believe it is Leon. Leon, this is your first question. According to the local curriculum, what is a hypothesis? According to the local curriculum, what is a hypothesis?
Hypothesis is an intelligent guess.
An intelligent guess, Leon says. My judges, are you going to be satisfied with that? Judges say no, we need some more. And so we're going to go over to the team for 5 points.
A scientific, a hypothesis is a scientific educated guess.
A scientific educated guess. Unfortunately, Leon, that's just not enough. You're on the right track, you know. It is indeed a scientific or educated guess, but we need some more added on. So you say a hypothesis is a testable statement. So you can test it, right? And it proposes a relationship between manipulated variables and responding variables. And so you need a little bit more on that answer to give your team some points. But good effort nonetheless. All right, let's go on to team captain Keon. Keon, here is your question. How many 25-cent coins are there in $2.90? How many 25-cent coins are there in $2.90?
7.
I'm afraid that is not correct, so we'll go over to the team for 5 points.
11.
11 is indeed correct, and that earns your team 5 points. Remember, it's 4 in 1, so it's 8 in 2, and 3 in the last one of 90 cents. So when you add those together, you get 11. Well done, team. Let's go on to the last person in this round, and the last question in this round to Miss Angel Ogaro. Explain the difference between a manipulated and responding variables in a science experiment. Explain the difference between the manipulated and responding variables in a science experiment.
The difference between a manipulated and responding variable in a science experiment is a manipulated variable can be changed, and a I can't pronounce it. Responding variable can be changed or has a reaction to a scientific experiment.
I'm going to look over to my judges for the guys. He says manipulated can be changed while the responding will change according to the experiment. I think we can take that, judges. We're going to take that, or we need some. I think that's fine. Judges are deliberating. Judges are happy. I am happy with that answer, so you'll get your team 10 points. So I just need to make sure me and the judges are on the same page, right? So the judges are happy and I'm happy, so indeed 10 points over to you, peers, for that answer. And so we have now come to the end of the third round of competition. And so when we come back right after this short commercial break, where we hear from our sponsors, we'll give you the scores and the update. See you soon.
Life moves faster than you can imagine. Without Social Security, the poverty rate among seniors would be 4 times as high. By registering now and making your contributions, you can ensure a better life and a secure future. The Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board, growing to provide for you.
back, and can you believe it? Just like that, we are at the final round of competition. Time, they say, flies when you are having fun, and I can't believe it is the final and last round. And so the next round, I think, is one of the favorites of the team. It's the beat the clock round, where you get to rack up as many points as you possibly can in 60 seconds. But before we do that, I have to give you the results of the last round and the team standings so far in the competition. So in the last round, the Antigua Girls High School scored a total of 25 points in the last round, and they so far now have a total of 60 points in the match so far. You can give them a round of applause. They've been working hard, done well. Well done, ladies. The Antigua Grammar School got 20 points in that round, and that gives them, therefore, a total of 75 points so far in the competition. And the Pierce Secondary School got 15 points again in that round, and so they are now at 30 points. Very good effort. So in this round, we're going to have the beat the clock round, but before I can do that, I'm going to have to again say goodbye to two of our teams, because this is an individual team round. So we're going to say goodbye again to the Antigua Grammar School and the Pierce Secondary School, while the girls at the Antigua Girls High School get their chance to beat the clock. Just a reminder of folks at home, these two teams are being escorted to a secluded area, so they will not be able to hear the questions. Girls from the Antigua Girls High School, this is the beat the clock round. You have 60 seconds to answer as many questions as you can possibly get right in that. The answers should only come through the designated responder, although you can collaborate as a team to get the right answers. And I believe the designated responder is Janae. That's you? Janae, my apologies. I'm so sorry. Janae is going to be responding on behalf of her team. I must hear an answer or pass before I move on. So you either say an answer, any answer you think is right, or pass before I can move on to a new question. Each correct answer is worth 5 points to your total score. Are you ready, girls? Let us begin. Name the two elements used to make a molecule of water.
H2, hydrogen and oxygen.
Which element has the symbol K?
Potassium.
How many meters are there in 1 kilometer?
1,000.
Name the organ in the body that can discern color.
Eye.
What is the color of litmus paper in acid?
Blue.
Give the collective term for the sepals in flowers.
Pass.
A symbiotic relationship in which one organism is harmed is called?
Parasitism.
Is oxygen gas an element or a compound?
Pass.
What term is used to describe a plant species that is at risk of extinction?
Endangered.
True or false? An adult human has normally a maximum of 36 teeth.
False.
Which body system contains veins and arteries?
Secretary.
How many planets are there?
8.
In academic circles, what does the abbreviation BA stand for? You can answer that.
Bachelor of Arts.
Bachelors of Arts. Thank you, Antigua Girls High School. And with that, we have ended the Antigua Girls High School's round, and we will invite the Antigua Grammar School back into the room. I'm going to invite, is that Jaden? You're going to be answering on behalf of your team.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to invite you to speak as loudly and as clearly as you possibly can so the judges can hear your answers. I will only move on to a new question if I hear an answer or the word pass. So if you don't move on or don't say anything, I will not move on to a new question. So you can say pass or give an answer. Each correct answer will earn your team 5 points. Are you ready?
Yes.
Team Grammar School, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go.
Yes, sir.
Name the two elements used to make a molecule of water.
Hydrogen and oxygen.
Which element has the symbol K?
Potassium.
How many meters are there in 1 kilometer?
100.
Name the organ in the body that can discern color.
Eyes.
What is the color of litmus paper in acid?
Red. Blue.
Give the collective term for the sepals in the flower.
The calyx. The calyx.
A symbiotic relationship in which one organism is harmed is called?
Parasitism.
Is oxygen gas an element or a compound?
An element.
What term is used to describe a plant species that is at risk of extinction?
Endangered.
True or false? An adult human has normally a maximum of 36 teeth.
False.
Which body system contains veins and arteries?
The heart.
How many
The
planets are there?
circulatory system.
How many planets are there?
12.
In academic circles, what does the abbreviation BA stand for?
Bachelors of Arts.
And I believe that is the time for the Antigua Grammar School. Thank you, boys, for giving as many questions or answering as many questions as you can in that 60-second period. Now we will invite back our last team, the team from the Pears Secondary School. Pears Secondary will have, again, 60 seconds to answer as many questions as we can. Team Pears, welcome back. And we are going to move into your final round, and this is the final round of competition. This beat the clock round. You have 60 seconds in which to answer as many questions as you possibly can. Each question will earn your team 5 points if answered correctly. All questions, all answers must come through the designated responder. I see that is Mr. Leon. Leon will be answering on behalf of his team. I invite Leon to speak loudly and clearly. It's a team effort. You can help your team, your responder, but only the responder's answer will count. All right? I must hear an answer or the word pass before I move on to a new question. You must tell me a word or an answer or the word pass before I can move on. Are we clear on the rules? Let's begin if you're ready. Here's your questions. Name the two elements used to make a molecule of water.
Hydrogen and oxide. Oxygen, not oxide. Oxygen.
Which element has the symbol K?
Potassium.
How many meters are there in 1 kilometer?
1,000.
Name the organ in the body that can discern color.
The eye.
What is the color of litmus paper in acids?
Pass.
Give the collective term for the sepals in flowers.
Pass.
A symbiotic relationship in which one organism is harmed is called?
Parasitism.
Is oxygen gas an element or a compound?
Gas.
What is the term used to describe a plant species that is at risk of extinction?
Pass.
True or false, an adult human has normally a maximum of 36 teeth. You can answer that.
True.
And we thank the Pears Secondary School for their responses to that question. And that is the end of the Beat the Clock round. I want you all to give yourselves a round of applause. It takes a lot of courage to come on the stage and compete in this competition, and you all have represented your schools admirably today. And so we will come back from the commercial break with the final scores, and indeed we'll find out which two schools will be advancing to the next round of competition. We'll be right back after these messages.
Life moves faster than you can imagine. Without Social Security, the poverty rate among seniors would be 4 times as high. By registering now and making your contributions, you can ensure a better life and a secure future. The Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board, growing to provide for you.
And I welcome you back for the end of what has been, I think, an exciting second match in the Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Junior Science Quiz Competition. 3 schools competed for 2 spots in next round's competition, and I have the final scores with me, the scores from the Beat the Clock round that will be added to the score from the previous 3 rounds to get your final scores. Are you ready for the scores, teams? So, in the 4th round, remember each correct answer added 5 points to the total score. The Antigua Girls High School got a total of 50 points in that round. And that gives them, therefore, a grand total of 110 points. The Antigua Grammar School got a total of 45 points in that beat the clock round. And when added to their previous total, they scored a total of 120 points overall, the grand total. And the Pear Secondary School amassed a total of 25 points in that round. And when added to their previous scores, they have 55 points in total. Pear Secondary, it was lovely having you with us in this match. You have nothing to be ashamed of. You did exceptionally in terms of your representation tonight, and I'm sure your school will be happy with your performance. Better luck next year in next year's competition. And remember, Junior Science Quiz is also about learning, so I hope you as well would have learned something tonight, and I'm sure we'll see you back next year even better than you were this year. To the Antigua Girls High School, you managed to narrow the gap there. You almost took over the boys in the grammar school. They went into the final round with a bit of a lead there, and you managed to close that gap and put the score within 10 points. But the good news is you have a second chance. We'll be seeing you again in the next round of competition. And we say good luck to you and job well done tonight. To the boys in the Antigua Grammar School, you must be very happy with your performance. Job well done. You did very well. You managed to leave tonight the highest scoring team going into the next round of competition. All right? And so before we close off the competition, tonight's match, we want to give each of the teams an opportunity to offer some closing remarks. We're going to start from the opposite end and come down this time. Give the girls a break, all right? So let's start with the Pear Secondary School and give you an opportunity to offer some closing remarks. Pear Secondary.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for bringing us here today, giving us the opportunity to compete with our competitors. And I also would like to say it was a good competition to all of you. I say good game. And when you guys are going home, I hope you make a safe journey and reach to your various families safely, and you can see them tonight. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
All right, thank you to Kayon for those closing words. Admirably spoken, Kayon, well done. Let's move on to the boys in the Antigua Grammar School. Let's give the team captain a chance to give his remarks.
I would like to thank God for waking us up this morning, for God for bringing us here, God for giving us the strength to do what we did today. I would like to thank my teacher trainer, Mr. Isaacs, my student trainer, Mr. Sully Williams, and yes, I would like to thank my competition for almost beating us by 2-3 questions, whatever. But I'd like to thank all of you and the Social Security Board for giving us an opportunity to show our brilliance.
I'm sure you'd like to thank the peers at your competition as well.
I'd like to thank peers. It was a good competition.
Well done, team captain. No problem. And finally, the girls from the Antigua Girls High School will have the opportunity to give their closing remarks.
Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank God for giving us the knowledge to be able to participate in such competition. I would like to thank our teachers for giving us the information to be able to, come out here and display what we learned. I would like to thank my fellow teammates for being here and giving me the confidence to come up here, as well as us as a team as a whole representing our school. I'd like to thank our competition, and I hope you guys have great luck in the competition going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Janair. Well done. And this, I think, brings us to the close of the second match. I think we all had a good time. We learned a lot. And fortunately or unfortunately, the first round is coming to an end. Next week will be the final round, the final match in the in the first round. We have 3 remaining schools to compete for 2 spots in the next round of competition. And those schools will be the Princess Margaret Secondary versus the All Saints Secondary versus the Clare Hall Secondary. And that will determine who will be the second round of competition. And remember that, as is usual in science quiz, the defending champions, the St. Anthony Secondary, have received a bye or a pass into the second round automatically as they won the competition last year. So you will not see them in the first round of competition, but during some match in the next round, you will see the defending champions. So you still have to come back to watch the St. Anthony Secondary to see these lovely teams again compete in the second round. Stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again next week. God bless you.
Life moves faster than you can imagine. Without Social Security, the poverty rate among seniors would be 4 times as high. By registering now and making your contributions, you can ensure a better life and a secure future. The Antigua and Barbuda Social Security Board, growing to provide for you.